My guest today is Kate Houck, and she's the executive director of David's Refuge. But before I bring her on, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Anna He, and I am a content creator and influencer for Officially Unofficial, as well as a pretty awesome headshots photographer. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to my guest, Kate Houck. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Anna. So good to see you.
It's so good to see you and to have you here celebrating this awesome month.
Yes. It's so exciting, isn't it? To bring awareness and celebrate these in-home heroes that work so hard every single day.
For
Thank you.
sure, for sure. And we're going to talk about the resources available to them to make that journey, a little bit smoother.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
There are resources out there, and there's people, mostly people, that want to help. So let's dive in. I love being
Yes.
here. You are the best.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Feel free to type your comments, whether you are watching right now, or you are watching the rewatch. Before we start, let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay. So I'm coming to you. My primary title, Anna, is mom. I'm actually sitting in my son's room right now, as this pandemic has just changed our world, hasn't it?
Yes.
But I am so fortunate. Everyone around me is healthy and happy. Proudly, I have 2 kids and a beautiful, wonderful, loving husband. I grew up out near Rochester, New York, and went to SUNY Cortland, where I met Paul. And I never left Central New York after meeting Paul, which is where he's from.
Okay.
So I've been working in this field forever. It feels like forever. I started my nonprofit journey as the executive director for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and really got to spend 10 years building a beautiful team there, working with most amazing people who were so devoted to that mission, and obviously serving amazing people. And now I get to spend my working time devoted still to individuals and families with special needs. And I get to do something very different with it, and also work with an amazing team. So my life has been a beautiful journey. Yeah, can't complain.
And it's, you are, not only because of your personality, the perfect person for this, because of your, you have this like really calming aura about you. So that's you are in the right field. You chose the right field, okay?
Well, that's quite a compliment from you, my friend.
Aww. All right, we're about to cry right now. All right.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about the organization that does so many great things for caregivers and offers so many resources. Let's talk about David's Refuge.
That's my passion. So of course. So David's Refuge, we were founded about 9 years ago, and founded by a local couple. So that's really something people love. Obviously, being in Central New York, we know how amazing this community is. And David's Refuge is this gem. It's just this mission founded on love. And I like to equate what we do to something like a warm blanket. We put comfort around moms and dads who are caregivers to their children with special needs. So all of the parents we serve are given an extensive list of resources that they can journey into when they're ready. But most of all, I think we just want people to know that we are a common ground. We are a community built to show them that they are not alone in what can sometimes feel like a very isolating journey. So we are David's Refuge, yeah.
Aww.
Our namesake, David Foal, was our founder's son. And David was age 8 when he was diagnosed with an incurable genetic disorder called Batten's disease. So Warren and Brenda, like all of the parents that we serve, were, looking at their life and traveling one journey one path, and then very quickly were sent on a completely different path, one that they never obviously would have thought was coming, and one that could have completely derailed them. And what they always say, though, is through 13 years of caring for David, many beautiful, wonderful people came into their life and reminded them constantly they weren't alone, showed them extravagant love, loved and accepted David for everything that he was, and he was a beautiful person. So they wanted to then, after David passed, they wanted to pay that forward and give that same level of love and understanding and community to other caregivers who maybe didn't have it. So it is a beautiful story of how to turn brokenness into pure beauty that now is the ripple effect is just continues to grow.
So having Dave's Refuge resources available is it's just a blessing, honestly. It's just a blessing for caregivers. So let's talk about those resources.
Yes. So if you, our website is beautiful. So I'm just going to make sure people know that that's available. If you missed something that I said on here. And Anna, you're so great. Look at you.
Where would you like me to go?
We have this beautiful, if you just want to scroll down, just so people, this is at davidsrefuge.org. And we have done so many new resource-based programs and content through COVID that has actually now it's all here. It's one landing page for you. So you can go to any of these different, this is just a poster you can print and hang in your house. I mean, we're trying to think of all different types of resources for you, the caregiver. We've done monthly wellness webinars, and all of those videos are on this resource page. So you could go back, this is just one technique. If you're feeling alone, you can go to this page and you can click on inspiration and spirituality and see what resources are underneath this tab. And you can be reminded again. That frontline worker one, that's everywhere. But this right here is our team member Rory. She is a mom and also understands the journey because she is a caregiver. Every single week, she does a finish line tip. So you can go in and watch her videos. And it's just a tip from a fellow caregiver on how you can get through the rest of your week. So this is just the type of resource available to our community of caregivers. Okay. Right through, yeah. And then also, just a tag to some other organizations that help caregivers. We actually partner with caregiver.com, and caregiver.com is a resource for all different types of caregivers. So if you are a spouse caring for your spouse, if you are a child caring for your parent, if you are a sibling caring for your sibling, all of those types of caregivers are it's a great resource page. Check it out. And that's just another great resource right at our fingertips, literally. So yeah,
I love it. How first of all, your website is great. The colors, they're so appealing. They're so calming, refreshing, and they're easy to navigate. So I just did it, right? I just went in there, the first page, and then you just go with the community and navigate, right? It's really good.
Yes.
So talking about community also, I saw that David's Refuge has a Facebook group. How is that?
We do. So when you become a guest of David's Refuge and, to take a step into how to become a guest, you can do that also right through our website. Right on the homepage is where our application is housed. So if you're looking for that, once you become a guest, we give you all of the different resources. So everything from our biggest resource of a 2-night getaway down to the opportunity to join a closed Facebook page for caregivers. On that closed Facebook page, we have close to 800 members, and all of the members share resources. But not only that, they share real moments, moments to celebrate, and moments of despair. When we've seen a mom post that, it's 2 a.m. and I'm in my closet and I'm crying, and you get 50 other comments of caregivers that say, you got this, mama. I've been there. I know what you're going through. Here's my number. Call me if you need something. That's the level of community that these parents are building. And it's right through a Facebook page. So that's an easy resource to get your fingers on.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's great. Okay, so for them to join this group, they have to go to the website and become a member?
Typically, we have people apply first to David's Refuge, but with our closed Facebook page, we would just need to know that you are a caregiver. We try to keep it to just caregivers. So that's our one way of making sure that group stays intimate for people who truly are all on the same journey. But I wouldn't say it's a prerequisite. We just really try hard to keep that page limited to only caregivers. Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense. Hey, hi, Gwen. Thank you for being here. Hello. Make sure to send in your questions about caregiving. Okay, so that is a great resource because, as you mentioned, I mean, where else would someone go that knows that she or he will be understood?
That's right. That's right. And I think, isn't that the most basic desire, Anna, of all humans? We want to be heard. We want to be understood, and we want to be fully accepted for who we are. We don't want to have to change who we are just to walk into the room. I think a lot of times our society is trying to fit all of our families into these little boxes that are pre-made. And, the families we serve very much many times don't feel like they fit. And even friends who mean well cannot find a bridge, cannot find a way, or feel uncomfortable. And so David's Refuge is trying to create this advocacy and give both caregivers and our community this opportunity to say, this doesn't have to be, there doesn't have to be a wall between. We are all on a common ground. We all get it. Parenting is hard. And I'm a parent, you're a parent, and I see you, and I know you're struggling a lot more than I am today, and I'm going to reach my hand out to you and see how I can help you. It's humanity, so that's what we get to do.
And you know what? Are there any tips that you can offer to, for example, like you just mentioned, when something happens, we're friends, right, of caregivers, but then something happened and we don't know how to approach, or we don't know what to say because we don't want to, we want to be sensitive, but then we don't know how to. And then what happens is that we stay away, right? Because we don't know what to do. We don't know what to say. What kind of tips do you have for us, caregiver supporters, right? If something happens, how do we break that bridge? Like you just said, how do we cross it?
Right. So I think some common tips I've heard and that I promote may seem simple, but I know it's not. So one thing you can do is ask your friend about the diagnosis of their child so that you can, or do your own research so that you can gain further knowledge. So instead of making up, your assumptions about this diagnosis or the child's behavior, you actually are going right to that parent. And just like you would ask that parent about, anything that their child is doing, this is now just a part of the journey. So there's nothing to be ashamed of or shy about. It's just you truly with heart, full heart, wanting to gain a better understanding so that you can go home then and talk to your children. You can help raise awareness for others in the community about what this diagnosis means and how others can come around. Another great one is to offer to a parent who provides extensive medical care to their child, offer to come over and have them teach you how to care for their child. So if the parent is willing to do that, what that could allow is that mom could just go to the grocery store. You could make her feel comfortable or him comfortable enough that she could leave for just 30 minutes, an hour. But for many of the families we serve, that's just not even an option. They're and for any caregiver, woman, a spouse leaving and a spouse who has Alzheimer's, same concept. offer to learn. Don't just offer to do it. You have to offer that you acknowledge that there's a special need here and say, I want to learn so that I can do it safely and so that you trust me to do it. So those are just two that come off the top. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a lot of love. That would be showing a lot of love right there to be able to, to say to your friend, listen, I want to help. Can you teach me how to? So that sometimes when you need to just, get out, doesn't have to be to the grocery store. You just want to get out.
Go for a walk. Right.
I can be there for you. That's great. So, Kate, we have a question and from the audience, and it reads, are you helping caregivers take care of elders as well?
So that is a great question. I see it coming from Gwen. So Gwen, I actually get this question a lot. Right now, David's Refuge is, we have an extensive waiting list for caregivers who identify as parents or guardians to a child with special needs. So because of that, we have decided to stay in our lane and focus on this group who are parents or guardians. However, we know how to execute this beautiful respite service and how to remind caregivers of self-care and how to build this community. So what I would love to see happen is perhaps another agency that supports, elderly caregivers. Maybe they want to come to David's Refuge and ask us some questions about how they can develop their own respite service so that all caregivers are feeling reminded of they're not alone, what they do matters, and God in this community loves them.
Let's talk about your most, I want to say, right, popular service, and that is the Respite Weekend.
Okay.
What is that about? How do caregivers qualify? Take it away, please.
So our service that we were founded on is a 2-night getaway, all expense paid, extravagant weekend for caregivers. We offer 2 types of 2-night stays. One is for a caregiving couple, and the other is for a single parent. So we do offer 2 different types of respite weekends. We also now offer some newer services brought on by COVID where we're offering moms retreats and are looking to also do a dad's retreat in 2021. So we're really excited about those. So mom and dad or single mom, they get to check into a local bed and breakfast. We handle all the details down to the type of wine they would like in their room or sparkling wine.
Hey.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
That is great. So just to make sure that I understood correctly. So say it's a married couple or, couple living together and one of them can sign up for it and then the other one stays home?
No. So we really want the mom and dad to get away together because
it's single.
Parents. So if you are a single parent, then you go by yourself.
Okay.
If you are a caregiving couple, then you go with your spouse or your couple. So I know we know how important it is that relationships are strengthened through our mission.
Especially 80%, in caregiving.
Yes, 80% of couples, their marriages end in divorce when they have extensive other challenges, like a child with special needs and the stress that causes. So we send the couple away together. We send them out to dinner both nights of their stay, and we also give them this opportunity to meet other parents. So we book the whole bed and breakfast with caregivers.
That is great.
Yes. So when they're walking down the hall, they pre-COVID, they meet for breakfast and they eat with all of these other amazing moms and dads, and they get to meet other moms and dads on the same journey. We also train mentors, hosts, we call them. And these are all parents who've gone through the same situation. They actually accompany our guests on the weekend, and they make sure that our messages and our mission are felt. So they add the extra layer of love into the weekends.
Okay. And volunteers, oh my gosh, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That is great. But that weekend sounds really, really good. So for them to apply for this weekend, they go to the website and they submit an application?
That's right. That's right. And we're right now taking applications for 2021. And you can apply once you are approved, and we release next year's calendar. You will just get a link to the calendar and be able to select the day and location that works best for your family. So we know we're going to have quite a demand next year, even with the pandemic. These caregivers we serve need our services more now than ever. So,
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
for sure. And how awesome would it be? I'm just like putting it out there. If you belongs to the Facebook group, and then your weekends is approved together, and you get to hang out with with those families that you interact with.
A mom from Buffalo and a mom from Canastota met on a respite weekend and hit it off, and they are now each other's person. They're the mom that calls the other one in the middle of the night when she's having a really rough patch with her child and says, "Hey, you get it. You've been through this." So those are the stories too that I just love. It's the ripple effect of our mission for sure.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you got a couple of questions. Let's see. So we get one. You see it? There are great resources for all type of care helpers and caregivers. Okay, so that's a comment. Thank you so much, Suzanne. And then let's see. We have another one for Gwen, from Gwen. How are you funded? Are you having issues since COVID with private donations?
Such a great question. We are funded by local businesses, family foundations, and individuals, obviously. So we definitely have been scrappy and just work to try to get our donations in and keep our budget going strong. There has never been a moment at David's Refuge where we said we're going to shut down. We just pivoted. We put our families in the center of everything we did. And we said, well, we can't do this. Well, what can we do? Mm-hmm. Our families are the core of everything that we do. And it's followed through in our mission. So the funding is down. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's been a tough year for everybody. Mm-hmm. But we also have been loved and supported by, some of our tried and true partners have really stepped up for us. And so I've been telling everyone, we will come out of this stronger than ever before because we have to. There are no other options. So it's great to come alongside David's Refuge. We rely on local people, and anyone who wants to donate, please join our family. My husband and I are tried and true monthly donors to David's Refuge. I believe in it personally, not just my job. So yeah, we welcome anyone, and you can find out how to donate right on our website.
Okay, that's what I was gonna do. Go to the website and go check out that donation button, because we need to keep taking care of the caregivers. Right?
That's right.
David's Refuge does a great job. And even though you're saying, that would be the last thing we would do, close, right? We still need to keep that bucket full. Right?
That's right.
And it's National Caregiving Month. This is what we're celebrating, right?
Yes,
so, if you guys are watching, and you guys, I know corporations were individuals as well, and any amount, right? Any amount counts.
That's right. Well, and what I love too, why I love being a donor to David's Refuge, is we invest our donations right back into local businesses. So not just the local caregivers, obviously we support all of our families with the donations, but we are sending parents to local bed and breakfast locations. We are sending them out to local restaurants, and that's what we use your donations to fund. We have the most amazing dedicated staff, and we are bare bones. We are a mighty powerhouse, tiny team. And so those donations, they keep us afloat, and they go right back into our local communities. So it's a win-win.
Yes. All right. So let's go to that website. Let's see where we can click on that button and donate.
I think you should try the 3-line toggle. I'm thinking that's where we're going to find that. So if you go, I just told Anna, we just updated our website. So she's putting me to the test right now. But if you click on support, I'm hoping that brings you. There we are. So we have just our donate button there, and it should bring you to a page to donate if you scroll down. Probably keep going. Lots of beautiful pictures there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so right down here, it will just show you the different amounts, how our cost breakdowns go for our respite weekends, and what you can specifically pay for with your donation. It's year-end time. Yeah, and so we also have a legacy fund. So for anyone planning to give on a legacy level who wants to really leave their mark for forever, for the rest of eternity at David's Refuge, that's a great option. And we also, like I said, have our Circle of Giving, which is a monthly donor program. And right now, we're actively trying to grow the members of our monthly gift program. And it's easy to set up, and you can actually, you can take it out any day of the month, and it automatically happens. So it's a really easy way to give. So thank you for
great. That is great. After the show is over, I am going to make my donation.
Oh, you're the best.
It's just a great organization, and it's Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving month. So just why not give to a great organization like you guys? And that weekend just sounds great. That weekend just sounds great.
I know.
And what you guys do, the wine is like, what wine would you like to have in your room?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. It's all customized. And that's, I think, what caregivers need, is to feel that someone does care extravagantly for them, and reminding them of that. And then they start to get this reminder of self-care and feel all the things they felt when they return home from this weekend. And our hope is that they're going to be empowered then to do it themselves and say, you know what? That date night we had at David's Refuge, that was really good for us. Our marriage felt better after that. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that once a month? So I think that's what we're trying to do, is start the snowball. Self-care matters. Do it, so that's kind of the concept. Yeah.
Yeah. And talking about that, Dave's Refuge has a monthly, right? The challenge, a weekly challenge. Right?
Yes. Okay. You are one of our influencers. So right now during November, you still have a chance to join in to our challenges. And Anna has taken them on, and I would encourage any of you to do it too. Right now, this week, it is to send a meal or make a phone call to say, to show a caregiver in your life that they matter and that you see them and that they're doing a great job. And next week is the flip. We want everyone to show gratitude to someone in their life who has cared for them. Yes. And that will be our last week of Caregiver Awareness Month. So you can still join in, check out all the great activities, and just help spread awareness and support for caregivers.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for this week's challenge, because we just have to like order out and
yes,
right? So it's just like,
true. It's so easy now.
Exactly. Like before, we had to like make the meal, right? And just bring it over.
That's right. I love it. Yes. And don't ever feel afraid. I think we all put ideas in our heads, like, well, I'm sure they already have dinner, or I don't know when they're going to be home. Like, get rid of all those excuses. Move the mountains. When have you ever been delivered a meal and said, I don't want that? Has that ever happened to anyone that you know?
No. You would just eat that.
That's right. If you didn't eat it that night, you put it in the fridge, and it is a blessing that next day. So don't overthink it. Just do something nice for someone. Write the note. Who doesn't want to hear that they're doing a great job?
For real. And the note is because that was something else that I was going to say. I was going to mention, when my dad passed away, I didn't want to talk about, like, people will ask me, I couldn't handle it. I could not say, I couldn't handle it. I would just choke up. But something that made me feel really good was getting handwritten notes.
Oh, great
that was
reminder. See?
Yes, that was
Yeah.
something that was personal. At that point, when I got those notes, I could cry, which I did. It was just me private with that person who sent
Right.
me that card. So afterwards, right, I make sure that I let them know, thank you so much for thinking of me. That meant a lot to me. And so a note for a caregiver who might just be like, you just told me a story about a mom who, has a hard time sleeping because she has to take care of her son.
That's
She
right.
could be reading those lovely notes, on those nights
Yeah.
that she can't sleep.
Yeah. On that day she needs that reminder, your
Right.
note will be sitting on that counter. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So send
Great
those
reminder.
notes. And Michael, we love you too. We love you too so much. Thank you.
Our biggest fan.
I know, right? Our biggest fan. There we go. Anything else that you want to announce that's coming up for David's Refuge?
I would just welcome all of you into our David's Refuge family. You obviously, I hope, can see that we are just down to earth. We are a local team of people working to keep this mission going strong, and not just going strong, but also keeping it moving in the right direction, which means growing this mission so we can serve as many caregivers as possible. So I would just urge you to become part of our family. And I want to thank you for helping us remind caregivers out there that they are not alone, that what they're doing and caring for their loved one truly matters, and that they are loved by God in this community. So thank you for sharing those messages of hope. And together we can truly create some advocacy and awareness. So thank you. And thank you, Anna. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Oh, that was great, Kate. I mean, you see what I'm saying? You're like a great spokesperson for David's Refuge.
Oh. Ask my kids if I'm graceful. You see?
I know, that's what my kids tell me. My kids is like, when you're doing business, you're such a different person. And I'm like, well, I'm never your mom. I'm never your mom.
Right. That's right. There's a difference. Sorry, there just is.
Right, for sure. But you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you were catching the replay, feel free to leave your comments. Feel free to give this video a like and my page a like so that you can be notified when this content comes up. And this is where you do it. Just click like, go to Officially-Unofficial TV so that you can keep enjoying this great content that we're bringing up for you. And now, Kate, are you ready? We are going to celebrate ahead of time. The donations are going to come on after you watch this show. So we're about to just say goodbye with this awesome celebration, right? So everybody take care of yourselves, be blessed, and make sure you go to David's Refuge website. Anything counts. We need to keep supporting this organization. All right, everybody, so here we go. Are you ready, Kate?
I'm ready.
Here we go, and this is how we do it. Hey, donations, hey. Oh, hey to you.
You are the best.
Yeah, send those donations, people. We will love it.